When you're new to Dead by Daylight, you are gonna make mistakes. Better accepted, because it be how it be. Everyone makes mistakes in this game, whether you have 5 hours or thousands of hours. However, the mistakes you make as a newer player are easier fixable. In today's video, we will be talking about 5 common mistakes new survivors mistake. But before we get started, hello, welcome in or welcome back. My name is Sharon and I am a legacy-free Nia main with nearly 9,000 hours in Dead by Daylight. I primarily stream Dead by Daylight on twitch.tv/Sharon and I upload consistently on this YouTube channel with loads of different DBD content. I hope you enjoy your stay and let's get started with the video. So, mistake number 1. Not looking behind you when running the killer. When you watch a survivor main play the game, especially a higher skilled or a survivor with more hours, they will pretty much look behind themselves when being chased. This is something that doesn't come naturally to you as a survivor, therefore you have to practice it and purposely try to work on it. Learning how to look behind you helps you in a lot of ways. For example, it helps you decide whether you should drop the pallet or if you can safely run to the window or a different pallet. Wasting pallets is a bad thing in this game, and in the higher MMR, you will see that survivors tend to try their best to save pallets as much as they can. It also will help you know where the killer is going to. Is he leaving you? Which direction is he gonna go to? Is he trying to mind game you? Is he trying to just straight up follow you? It helps you in a lot of ways and you can't really figure out if you don't learn how to look behind you. So as a new survivor, it's definitely something you want to invest your time in. You want to try your best and practice it as much as you can so it becomes more of an organic feeling. Mistake number 2, not saving your teammates when they are on the hook. Now, this sounds like something very normal and logical, but it is far too common in lobbies where newer players are in, that newer players are too scared to go save their teammates off the hook and focus way too hard on generators. While doing generators is good and necessary, leaving your teammate to die on the hook for a generator, especially in the early beginnings of the game, is not. Losing a teammate when you barely have a gens done tremendously reduces your chance of survival. Now, why newer survivors go through that mindset? It depends. Some survivors are scared to go further on hook. Some survivors think that other survivors will save the person on the hook. Everyone has their different reasons, but you have to keep in mind as a newer survivor, the other people you're playing with might have the same mindset. And if everyone in your lobby has that same mindset, the person will die on the hook. I highly recommend using the perk Kindred, which will help you make decisions more easily when a teammate is hooked. I've done a Kindred guide that I will link on the top right corner, so go check it out if you want to learn how Kindred works. Bottom line is, you have to save the person on the hook, otherwise you might lose the game. Mistake number 3, going to the edges of the map. I still remember when I was a new survivor, I would do the exact same thing. I would hide at the edges of the map, run towards them when being chased, and heal myself around them. Now, sometimes that isn't a bad idea to use the edges of the map. However, you have to know how to manipulate your sprint marks and the side of the killer. Then, it potentially can throw off killers, especially in higher MMR because they don't expect you to be there. But newer survivors don't know how to do this, therefore 9 out of 10 times you're gonna get caught at the edges of the map and you're just kinda doomed. The edges of the map are extremely useless. No pallets, not really any windows, and if they are, mostly they're useless and you just have nothing going for you. If you do go there, especially as a new survivor, you're more often to get caught, which is something you want to avoid. It especially seems normal for newer survivors to heal themselves around the edges of the map. Bad idea. Don't do that. If the killer finds you, you're doomed. He's gonna catch you because you have nothing to defend yourself of. It's better to just heal next to a window or a pallet so when the killer does come, you have something to protect yourself. Mistake number 4. Doing generators on the same side of the map. This still is done in the higher tiers of the game, but definitely a lot less and a lot less damaging as the survivors are more skilled to handle the situation. It's very normal for newer survivors to just do a gen and find the next possible gen and do that generator as well, which logically makes sense because you travel the least distance and you have the less chance of running into the killer. However, it is a very damaging thing to do for the game. When you are doing all the gens on the same map, you are forcing yourself into a free gen situation, which is a very hard and dire situation to come back from, especially when you're newer, especially when you're unorganized as a team. It's just very hard, and more than likely the killer will win that battle if you're free gen. Now, it will take too long to get into detail what free genning is and how you can stop it, but lucky for you, I have also made a guide for free genning, so I will link that on the top right corner as well, so make sure to check it out if you want to know what a free gen is and how to stop it. And mistake number 5, not taking hits or aggro for survivors that are on dead hook. When people say DBD is a team game, they aren't joking. Especially in the current meta, having all the survivors alive is very important. When the killer is able to kill a survivor, making it a free phase 1, the game is massively killer-sided. This especially is an issue when there are no gens on, or only a few. Why do you ask? Keep in mind, 9 out of 10 times during the game, one survivor is already being chased, which means 3 survivors are potentially on a generator. When one survivor is hooked, one survivor needs to go and unhook, and one survivor is being chased, making it so only one survivor is working on a generator. This reduces the speed on the generators by a ton, and especially in today's meta where all the killers are running a bunch of anti-gen perks, it's really hard getting generators up. So when you lose one survivor, you are in this vicious cycle of one being chased, one being hooked, and one needs to be unhooked, which means no one is on the generators. So when you notice a survivor being on that hook, which you can see by the tally next to the survivor's icon, and you aren't on that hook, you should try to help them. Try to block the killer from getting to the survivor. Try to take a hit. Don't hide and run away when you unhook the survivor. Sacrificing a hook state of yourself is typically a lot better for the overall game than you being selfish and letting someone die early on. And there you have it. These are the 5 most common mistakes newer survivors make in this game. Keep in mind, there are a lot of more mistakes you can make, whether you're newer or older. And if you're listening to this, you might not even agree that these are the 5 most common mistakes newer survivors make. If you have any more common mistakes you see newer survivors do, or advice, feel free to post them down below in the comment section. And if you have any questions about these 5 or anything else, feel free to leave the questions down below as well. And that was it for today's video. I hope the video has helped and that you enjoyed watching. Thank you all so much for being here. As always, I'm gonna ask you to do the things that every YouTuber always asks you to do. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. And see y'all next time. Bye bye!